Hello everyone and welcome to the PAPIEnglish podcast, the podcast that helps you learn English. And today it's episode 3 of the podcast. Yes, episode 3 already. I really enjoyed doing the first 2 episodes, so I thought I would do a 3rd episode as well. And I hope you enjoy this one because we're going to be talking about the verb get. That's right, the verb get. Now, I remember teaching English when I was about 19 years old, and I wanted to become a teacher of the English language, and I had a friend who was Spanish who I was trying to help learn English, let's say, just casually as a friend, also so I could get some experience. And she asked me to teach her the verb get, and I spent hour after hour after hour trying to teach her the verb get. And I think it just got more and more confusing because get is an extremely confusing verb, guys. And obviously now I've got some experience teaching, and I want to break down several meanings of the verb get, which I think are the most important for you to learn. And if you can understand these meanings of the verb get, and if you are able to use them, you are on your way to being able to speak English very well, and you're going to find it extremely useful. So, several meanings of get. Let's take a look at the first meaning. Get can mean to obtain. Now, obtain is a very formal verb. We don't use it very often. However, get is more common English, spoken English, everyday English. So we substitute the verb obtain with the verb get. For example, you don't say, I go to the shop to obtain bread. This sounds silly. You say, I go to the shop to get bread. Okay? To obtain bread. Okay? I go to university to get a degree in English. Okay? It's not very common that someone would say, I go to university to obtain a degree in English. It's possible, yes, but more common. Spoken English, you would say, I go to university to get a degree in English. Okay? I try working in a new job to get experience, to obtain experience, to get experience. Okay? We can use both verbs, but get is more common. So it can be, you can get a physical thing like bread, or something which is not a physical thing like experience. Okay? I work to get experience. Now, get can also mean to buy. So this is where it can confuse with obtain. In fact, it kind of means obtain and buy. With the example I gave you before, I go to the shop to get bread. This can mean I go to the shop to obtain bread, or it can mean I go to the shop to buy bread. It's not really important, okay? It can mean obtain or buy, but it's not important. The result is the same. You have bread now. You went to the shop to have bread, let's say. To get bread, to buy bread, to obtain bread, it's all the same. But, for example, I got my mom some perfume for her birthday. Okay? I bought my mom some perfume for her birthday. To buy. Get can mean to buy. But get can also mean to receive. So, I got my mom perfume for her birthday. I bought my mom perfume for her birthday. My mom got perfume for her birthday. My mom received perfume for her birthday. Okay? So I got my mom perfume, I bought my mom perfume. My mom got perfume, my mom received perfume. Can be a little confusing, I know. I got many letters in the post. I received many letters in the post. Okay? And similar to receive, we have the verb earn. Obviously, earn means to receive money for doing work or for doing a job. So you can say, she's got a fantastic job. She earns £40,000 a month. A month? That's a lot. a year, let's say. She earns £40,000 a year. Or you could say she gets £40,000 a year. She earns it. She receives it. Okay? So these are probably the four most common uses of get, okay, in place of the verbs obtain, buy, receive, and earn. Everyone. Now, let's look at the second usage of get, which is a bit different. Get can mean to cause something to happen. And with this, I like to look at the example of parents and children. Now, children are very lazy. They don't want to do anything sometimes. They just want to play. And parents have to persuade their children or make their children do things. And here we can use verb get, okay, to cause something to happen. Parents get kids to do things. Parents get kids to clean their bedroom. Parents get kids to eat their vegetables. Parents get kids to do their chores. Chores, the work they do at home. Parents get kids to do their homework. Okay? So here, get means cause something to happen. Okay? So, a very common usage of get and a very useful one to know as well. Now, this next meaning of the verb get is very, very common as well. Get can mean to become. If we use get plus adjective, it always means to become. For example, confused. I get confused when I do Sudoku puzzles. Okay, I get confused when I do Sudoku puzzles, which means I become confused when I do Sudoku puzzles. Again, get is a bit more spoken English, a little bit more informal, but very common, more common than become, okay, in spoken English. So you wouldn't say, oh, I become confused when I do Sudoku puzzles. It's more likely you're going to say, I get confused when I do Sudoku puzzles. Or I get tired when I study all night, okay? Or I get worried when I drink too much coffee, or I get anxious when I drink too much coffee. I become anxious. I become tired. Okay? I get sick. I get sick if I drink too much beer. Okay? I become sick when I drink too much beer. Again, a very common usage of the verb to get, and one that you need to learn to use. Let's look at another meaning, which is it's a bit more a particular meaning of the verb get, but something that people say a lot. Get can mean to understand something, or not to understand something in the negative. So, I got what my teacher was saying means I understood what my teacher was saying. Okay? If I say, I didn't get it, it means I didn't understand it. Did you get the maths homework? Did you get the maths homework? Did you understand the maths homework? Okay, so to understand something, to get something. Now, get can also mean to have the chance to do something. Okay, so here we're using it in the place of have. For example, I hope I have the chance to visit America. You can say, I hope I get the chance to visit America. Get is like an informal have sometimes. Have is a little bit more formal. Get is a little bit more informal. I hope I get the chance to study more English. Okay? I hope I have the chance to study more English. Also, with the causative structure, we can use get instead of have to make it a little bit more informal. Let's quickly look at the causative structure, and then I can make this a little clearer. Okay, to teach the causative, let's look at the example of the Queen. The Queen is a very important person. So I like to ask my students, does the Queen clean her toilet? Does the Queen clean her toilet? No, she doesn't clean her toilet. She's a very important person. I cannot imagine the Queen cleaning her toilet. So you would say, the causative, the Queen has her toilet cleaned. Okay, so here we have the subject, the Queen. We have the verb has, the Queen has. We have the object, the toilet. And we have the past participle of the verb, cleaned. The Queen has her toilet cleaned. You can also say by who? By her cleaners or housekeepers, let's say. So this is called the causative because the Queen doesn't do the job. Somebody does it for her. Okay? So subject, have, object, past participle. Instead of have here, to make it a little bit more informal, we can use the verb get instead. So instead of the Queen has her toilet cleaned, we can say the Queen gets her toilet cleaned. Okay? A common mistake that English learners say is they say, I cut my hair. I cut my hair. No, you don't cut your hair. Somebody does it for you. So let's use the causative. Okay? Subject, have, object, past participle. I have, object, my hair, past participle, cut. I have my hair cut. Instead of saying I have my hair cut, we can say I get my hair cut. A little bit more informal. And then you can say by who. Like this is a bit similar to the passive structure. I get my hair cut by the hairdresser. Okay? So let's summarize the different meanings of get that we've looked at in this podcast. Get can mean to obtain, to buy, to receive, or to earn. Okay? I get bread from the supermarket. I get letters in the post. I get experience from work. I get lots of money for making podcasts. It's a lie. It's not true. Okay, get can also mean cause something to happen. Parents get their kids to do things. Parents get their kids to do their homework. Okay, I get myself to get up and go to work. Okay, obviously I used get up here, so obviously get is used with a lot of phrasal verbs, but this is something we can talk about in another podcast. Okay, what else? Get can mean to become. If you add an adjective, it means to become. I get sick, I get confused, I get tired, I get worried. Okay, I become sick, I become confused, I become tired, I become worried. Get can mean to understand something. I get you, I understand you. I don't get it, I don't understand it. Get can mean have. For example, I have the chance to do something. I get to do something. I get to study. I have the opportunity, the chance to study. I get to work. I have the opportunity to work. I get to go on holiday. I have the chance. I have the opportunity to go on holiday. And also, get can be used in place of have in the causative. Okay? I have my hair cut? No. Well, yes, it's possible. But we also say, I get my hair cut. So everybody, I hope this podcast helped you understand a little bit better the verb get. I hope you found it really useful. I will try and do some things on YouTube and on my Instagram page, PAPIEnglish, all of it, where I can do some extra little things, some quizzes, some little explanations to help you practice with get. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go to PAPIEnglish on my Instagram page or on YouTube, again, PAPIEnglish. And you can also find me on Facebook as well. I hope you found this useful. I'm really looking forward to doing episode 4 of the podcast. We're going to do something really interesting. And yes, thank you for listening. And I'll see you, or I won't see you, but I'll speak to you in the next class.